Hello, and welcome to another episode of the SRS Podcast, Unmasking the World of Specialist Cleaning. I'm your host, and in today's episode, we'll be diving into something that's as emotional as it is crucial: house clearances in the aftermath of trauma, and how professionals step in to help families through such a sensitive time. Imagine for a moment that you've lost a loved one. You're already overwhelmed by grief, trying to cope with an unthinkable loss when you realize that in addition to your emotional burden, there's a house to clear. A house filled with memories, belongings, and the residue of a life lived within those walls. There are piles of things to sort through, things that carry emotional weight, and maybe, just maybe, remnants of a traumatic event that have left their mark on the space. You know you can't do it alone, but who can you turn to? Who can you trust to come in, do the job thoroughly and with care? This is where specialist cleaning companies like srsolutions.uk come in, offering professional biohazard cleaning services that not only take care of the practical elements of house clearance, but also provide a level of compassion and respect that is so needed in these times. I'm sure you're thinking, what makes this type of cleaning so different from regular house cleaning? Well, it's not just about getting rid of physical mess. It's about safety, respect, and restoring the home to a place where it can once again be lived in without any lingering health or emotional risks. Today, we'll explore the ins and outs of biohazard cleaning in the context of house clearances, from handling the emotional and practical challenges to diving into the tools, techniques, and regulations that make this delicate work possible. We'll discuss how srsolutions.uk provides a crucial service during one of life's most difficult times, and how our team ensures that the job is done right without compromising on care. Before we get started, let me ask you this. Have you ever thought about what happens when a property is left in a state that requires biohazard cleaning? Maybe you're a landlord, a property owner, or someone who's just been caught up in an unexpected crisis. What would you do? I know many people don't realize the severity of this kind of cleaning until they're faced with it. But by the end of this episode, you'll have a better understanding of why professional biohazard cleaning is essential and why in times of grief or tragedy, it's so important to get the right help. Now, here's a preview of what we're going to cover in this episode. We'll start by defining what biohazard cleaning actually involves and why it's so much more than just clearing away mess. We'll share real-world examples, giving you insight into the emotional and practical aspects of house clearances after trauma. We'll then take a deep dive into the tools and techniques used in this line of work, including the safety protocols that must be followed to ensure the job is done correctly, safely, and in compliance with UK regulations. We'll also take a look at the science behind biohazard cleaning, what happens to dangerous pathogens, and how the cleaning process neutralizes the risks involved. Finally, we'll reflect on the broader themes: compassion, discretion, and the human impact of biohazard cleaning, and offer actionable advice for listeners who may need to prepare for this type of service in the future. So whether you're a landlord with concerns about tenant vacates, a property owner worried about a potential biohazard situation, or just someone wanting to know more about this often overlooked field, this episode is for you. But first, let's set the scene. Biohazard cleaning is a specialized service that deals with the removal of dangerous materials or contaminants from a property that may pose a health risk. But it's not just about cleaning. It's about ensuring that dangerous substances such as blood, bodily fluids, infectious diseases, or even chemicals are removed from a property in a way that ensures the safety of everyone involved. In the UK, biohazard cleaning is regulated by several laws, most notably those outlined by the Health and Safety Executive, HSE, and the Control of Substances Hazardous to Health, COSHH, regulations. These rules govern how dangerous substances are handled in workplaces, and while they don't always apply directly to residential settings, they inform how the cleaning industry approaches biohazard situations. When you're dealing with something like trauma cleaning, for instance, it's not just about wiping down surfaces, it's about understanding the nature of biohazards. Bloodborne pathogens such as HIV, hepatitis B, or hepatitis C are just a few examples of diseases that can be transmitted through bodily fluids. Without the proper equipment and methods, these pathogens could remain on surfaces, posing serious risks long after the event has passed. In the UK, these risks are taken very seriously, and there are stringent requirements in place to ensure that every surface, object, and area that might have been contaminated is thoroughly disinfected. The importance of professional biohazard cleaning lies in its ability to restore not only the physical condition of a property, but also its safety. Without the expertise to identify and neutralize biohazards, there's a very real risk of health complications down the line. And in cases where the property might be rented out or sold, it can impact the future use of the space. For landlords, property owners, or anyone looking to move into a previously occupied property, ensuring it's properly sanitized and free from harmful substances is essential to safeguarding health and complying with legal requirements. At srsolutions.uk, we specialize in providing this essential service with care, professionalism, and attention to detail. We understand that when biohazard cleaning is needed, it's not just about ticking boxes, it's about making a space livable, safe, and ready for whatever comes next. Let's talk about some real-life situations to help illustrate just how important this service is and the difference it can make. A sudden loss and the need for compassionate cleaning. Imagine a family who has just experienced the sudden death of a loved one in their home. The situation is heartbreaking, and as the family grieves, they're left with the unenviable task of cleaning the house. Not only is this an emotional burden, but the area might also have been exposed to biohazards like blood or bodily fluids. The family is not only dealing with loss, but they're also uncertain about the risks involved in cleaning the space themselves. This is where professional biohazard cleaning comes in. When srsolutions.uk gets involved, we approach the situation with the utmost compassion. We understand that no one wants to be reminded of their trauma, so we handle the property with sensitivity and respect. We ensure that all biohazards are completely removed using the best equipment and techniques available. This family doesn't need to worry about anything other than their grief. The cleaning is taken care of by professionals who know what they're doing. Infectious disease outbreak in a shared property. In another case, a shared property was subject to an infectious disease outbreak. This scenario is particularly tricky as it involves ensuring that all areas, communal spaces, individual rooms, and even the building's ventilation system are thoroughly cleaned and disinfected. The presence of pathogens like norovirus or influenza in a shared living environment can spread quickly, putting multiple people at risk. The key in this situation is not only the cleaning, but also the communication. The property manager needed to understand the severity of the issue and act swiftly. This is where srsolutions.uk's expert team comes in. We provided a complete biohazard cleaning service, focusing on the areas most affected, ensuring all surfaces were disinfected and that the property was safe to return to. We also ensured that the right precautions were taken to minimize further risk, so the building could return to normal as quickly as possible. Now let's dive into the heart of the matter, the tools, techniques, and safety protocols that make professional biohazard cleaning possible. When you think about cleaning up a biohazard, you might imagine a mop and bucket or some cleaning products from your local supermarket. But biohazard cleaning is a whole different ball game, requiring highly specialized equipment and techniques. Let's break this down. Personal protective equipment, PPE. The first and most essential step in biohazard cleaning is ensuring the safety of the cleaners. PPE is a non-negotiable part of the job, and it goes far beyond what you might wear when cleaning your home. Professional cleaners wear full-body suits made from material that is resistant to biological contaminants. This is often paired with face shields, heavy-duty gloves, respirators, and boot covers. Think of it like an astronaut suit designed to protect the cleaner from potential exposure to harmful pathogens. In the UK, regulations set by the Health and Safety Executive, HSE, and the COSHH guidelines make it clear that PPE is not optional. For example, during a trauma cleaning job where there may be bloodborne pathogens, wearing the right gear is crucial to avoiding contamination. Cleaning agents and disinfectants. Once the PPE is in place, the next stage is using powerful cleaning agents and disinfectants that are specifically designed to neutralize biological contaminants. These aren't the standard cleaning products you'd use for a surface wipe in the kitchen. Biohazard cleaners use industrial-grade disinfectants that can destroy viruses, bacteria, and other pathogens that might be lurking in the environment. For example, a common cleaning agent used in biohazard situations is a hospital-grade disinfectant that's effective against bloodborne pathogens. These disinfectants don't just clean the surface, they break down the biological materials to ensure that any risk of infection is eradicated. HEPA filtration and air monitoring. Another crucial piece of equipment in biohazard cleaning is the use of HEPA, high-efficiency particulate air filters. These filters are used in specialized vacuums and air filtration units to trap harmful particles like bacteria, mold spores, and dust that could be floating around the contaminated space. HEPA filtration ensures that the air is as safe as possible during the cleaning process, reducing the risk of airborne contamination. Air monitoring is also critical during this process. By taking air samples before, during, and after cleaning, srsolutions.uk can ensure that the property meets UK health and safety standards. If necessary, we will also use air scrubbers to maintain a safe environment. Containment and waste disposal. Biohazard cleaning doesn't stop with the surface level disinfecting. One of the most vital aspects of this process is the containment and proper disposal of waste. Contaminated materials, including clothing, furniture, and even structural elements like carpet or drywall, must be carefully removed and disposed of according to UK regulations. Here in the UK, biohazard waste is classified under the Environmental Protection Act 1990 and must be handled by licensed waste carriers. This is why it's so important to hire a professional team like srsolutions.uk, as we follow the proper procedures for both handling and disposing of waste. All materials are bagged, sealed, and transported to a certified disposal facility, ensuring the safety of the environment and the community. Decontamination process. The cleaning process follows a strict sequence to ensure that no area is left untreated. This involves initial sanitization of high-touch areas, followed by deeper cleaning of any potentially contaminated surfaces or furniture. Floors are disinfected, walls are wiped down, and any porous materials are thoroughly treated or disposed of. After the major cleanup, final checks are carried out, and air quality is tested again to confirm the room is safe. Now, let's get into the science behind why this work is so important and how it can make a real difference in a property's safety. At the core of biohazard cleaning is understanding the biology of the contaminants we're dealing with. Biohazards can come in many forms, but most often they are viruses, bacteria, or other infectious microorganisms. These pathogens can be dangerous not only to the people who occupy the space, but also to the cleaners handling the site if not properly addressed. Bloodborne pathogens. Let's start with one of the most common biohazards, bloodborne pathogens. These include viruses like hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and HIV, all of which can be transmitted through blood or bodily fluids. The reason these are so dangerous is that even tiny traces of blood or bodily fluids can harbor these pathogens, and if they're not properly removed, they can continue to pose a threat long after the event has passed. When srsolutions.uk handles a trauma cleaning job, for example, we use highly specialized disinfectants that break down these pathogens. These cleaning agents work by disrupting the cellular structure of the pathogens, effectively killing them on contact. This is why it's so important to use the right cleaning agents. Standard household cleaners won't do the job when dealing with pathogens that can live on surfaces for days or even weeks. The role of microorganisms in biohazard cleaning. But it's not just viruses we have to worry about. There's a wide range of microorganisms that can pose a risk in contaminated spaces, from bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella to fungi and molds. Mold, in particular, is a concern in environments that have been exposed to water or bodily fluids, as it can quickly spread and cause respiratory issues. The key to dealing with these contaminants is understanding how they survive and thrive. Pathogens like mold and bacteria need moisture to grow, which is why it's crucial to dry out areas immediately after cleaning. Disinfectants target the moisture-loving cells of these pathogens, ensuring they're not just wiped away, but destroyed. This prevents them from spreading to other areas of the property. Innovations in biohazard cleaning. Technology has also played a role in improving the effectiveness of biohazard cleaning. For example, ultraviolet UV light technology is becoming more common in cleaning processes. UV light has the ability to kill bacteria and viruses by damaging their DNA, rendering them inactive. Some biohazard cleaning companies, including srsolutions.uk, are beginning to use UV light as part of their decontamination process, ensuring that any pathogens that may be resistant to chemicals are neutralized effectively. The work we do in biohazard cleaning isn't just about getting rid of pathogens, it's also about the human element of the job. Every biohazard cleaning situation is different, but one thing remains constant: the need for compassion and discretion. For families dealing with a trauma, a loss, or a difficult situation, the last thing they need is a cleaning company that is insensitive or impersonal. This is why we take the time to approach every job with care. Our cleaners are trained not just in the technical aspects of the work, but also in how to handle the emotional side of things. It's not easy, and sometimes it's hard to imagine what it's like to be in the shoes of those who need our services. But by maintaining a compassionate and respectful approach, we help ensure that the process is as smooth and as least distressing as possible for those involved. We also recognise the importance of compliance. The UK has very strict laws around biohazard cleaning, and ensuring compliance is a key part of what we do at srsolutions.uk. We never cut corners or skip steps, whether it's following COSH guidelines or ensuring proper waste disposal. We make sure everything is done according to the law. This not only protects the people we're cleaning for, but also ensures the environment is safe for everyone. As we wrap up today's episode of the SRS Podcast, Unmasking the World of Specialist Cleaning, let's reflect on the journey we've just taken. We've explored the critical importance of biohazard cleaning, especially in house clearance situations following a tragedy or loss. This is a service that goes far beyond just cleaning up a mess. It's about safety, compliance, and the human impact of this delicate work. Whether it's dealing with bloodborne pathogens after a trauma, removing potentially dangerous bacteria, or ensuring a property is safe to inhabit again, biohazard cleaning professionals play a crucial role in restoring order and peace of mind. One key takeaway from today's discussion is the emotional weight of biohazard cleaning. We often talk about the practical aspects of the job, how we clean, what tools we use, and how we comply with UK regulations. But it's important to remember that at the heart of every biohazard cleaning job is a person or a family going through something difficult, whether it's a sudden death or an infectious disease outbreak. These moments are filled with stress, confusion, and grief. That's why compassion is just as important as the technical skills we bring to the job. For landlords, property owners, or anyone who might find themselves facing a biohazard situation, it's vital to recognize when it's time to bring in the experts. Biohazard cleaning isn't something you should try to handle on your own, as the risks involved can be far-reaching. Not only could you put yourself or others at risk, but you could also find that the cleaning process isn't as thorough as it needs to be. Professional biohazard cleaners, like those at srsolutions.uk, know exactly how to handle the situation from start to finish, ensuring that every surface is properly disinfected, that all waste is disposed of safely, and that the property is safe for future use. Now, let's take a moment to talk about the broader lessons we've touched on. We've explored the science behind biohazard cleaning, from the way pathogens like bacteria and viruses spread to how we neutralize them using state-of-the-art equipment. We've also discussed the tools and techniques used to ensure safety, like HEPA filtration, PPE, and air monitoring. But beyond the science and technology, there's a core theme that resonates throughout: compassion. In times of crisis, it's not just about removing pathogens, it's about treating the situation with the respect and care that it deserves. We understand the weight of the responsibility that comes with biohazard cleaning. And it's something we take very seriously at srsolutions.uk. That's why, whether we're dealing with the aftermath of a trauma or ensuring that a property is safe after an infectious disease outbreak, we approach every job with empathy and discretion. And let's not forget about the legal and regulatory side of things. The UK is home to strict guidelines on the handling of biohazard materials, from the COS-HH regulations to the Environmental Protection Act. By complying with these laws, we ensure not only that the job is done safely, but also that we're contributing to a broader effort to protect public health. Biohazard cleaning is not just about making a space look clean. It's about ensuring that it's safe and that the people who will live or work there in the future can do so without fear of exposure to harmful substances. Recap of key takeaways. Biohazard cleaning is a vital service for those dealing with the aftermath of trauma, loss, or infectious diseases. It's not just about cleaning, it's about ensuring safety, compliance, and most importantly, compassion for the people involved. Professional biohazard cleaning requires specialized tools and techniques, including PPE, air filtration, and hospital-grade disinfectants. The science behind biohazard cleaning is grounded in understanding the biology of pathogens and the importance of thoroughly neutralizing them. UK regulations ensure that biohazard cleaning is done safely and in compliance with the law, protecting both the property and the individuals involved. At srsolutions.uk, we're committed to providing the highest standard of biohazard cleaning, ensuring that every job is handled with the utmost care and professionalism. Our team is trained to not only deal with the technical aspects of biohazard remediation, but also to approach every situation with sensitivity and respect for the people we're helping. When we step into a home or property that's been affected by biohazards, we're not just cleaning up a space, we're restoring it. We're ensuring that the property is safe, that it's habitable again, and that the emotional impact of the situation is acknowledged and respected. That's our commitment to you. So if you find yourself in a situation that requires biohazard cleaning, remember, you don't have to do it alone. Whether you're a property owner, landlord, or anyone dealing with the aftermath of a tragic event, professionals like srsolutions.uk are here to help. We'll handle the hard work, the technical aspects, and the emotional sensitivity, allowing you to focus on what really matters, getting through the tough times. At srsolutions.uk, we don't just clean, we restore, we protect, and we care, because your safety, your peace of mind, and your well-being matter to us. If you found today's episode helpful, please subscribe to the SRS Podcast to stay updated on all things specialist cleaning. Share this episode with others who may benefit from this vital information. And if you're in need of professional biohazard cleaning or you'd like to learn more about our services, visit us at srsolutions.uk. We're here to help you navigate life's toughest challenges with professionalism, compassion, and expertise. Thank you for listening. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and take care.